Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to cold Moscow. Now, what better way to warm up than to go into Russia's largest shopping center? Yes, I'm here at Aviapark. This is the main walkway where you come out of the metro here, so kind of see lots of people kind of coming and going right behind me, I think. Trains come every 90 seconds here, so if you're ever catching the metro in Russia, or in Moscow particularly, every 90 seconds you can get a train right here to CSK station, and we're going to go check out Aviapark. Now, no matter when you come to Aviapark, kind of morning, noon or night, it seems to be a busy place. Now, this is Wednesday afternoon, a late afternoon now. It's going to get dark in about a half an hour or so. Now, the one thing that's pretty cool in winter time here is you've got coat check. So you can come and bring your jacket, your coat, your pram, whatever you need to leave, and basically you get a little number and you come back and pick it up on the way. Now, this is kind of interesting. This wasn't here before. There's a robot coffee machine. What? A robot coffee machine for 260 rubles. I think we're paying for the robots. We're not paying for the coffee. Being that it's the largest shopping center in all of Russia, this coat checks are very convenient because you know you're going to spend a few hours here. You don't want to carry around your bulky winter jacket like I'm wearing today. So you kind of just leave it there. You can kind of dress down a little bit. Most people will know they're going to come here, so it's nice and convenient to kind of leave your jacket and just walk around a little bit more freer than even I am. I'm going to leave my jacket on. I'm not going to be here too long. I'm going to make a nice short video for you today. So I'm going to leave my jacket on and have a wander around and see what it feels like, see what stores are open, is there any closed, and just see what it's like. So if you have watched the channel for any length of time, you'll probably know that I've been into Ashan. This is the very big two-story Ashan, the biggest Ashan in all of Russia here at Aviapark. I mean, why not? If you've got the biggest shopping center, you've got to build the biggest supermarket, right? And as you kind of walk in the shopping center, you kind of basically right in front of you is this huge supermarket. So this is the lower level. I've got a video that you can watch. I'll put that as a card for you to watch after this or during this video if you like. They've got a nice little takeaway cafeteria right here, so you can get inexpensive kind of pastries and bread and a coffee. Only 59 rubles for a coffee. It's not too bad, but yeah, you can check that out if you want to have a bit of a longer walk around. We're not going to head in there today because it's just too big to squeeze into one video. So hopefully all of the actors have turned up for me to make this video. Everybody always comments on my videos, you know, all these people are actors, they're paid, I'm hiring them and bringing them with me to the shopping center. So hopefully most of them have turned up to the shopping center, and some of them are just arriving from the upstairs levels there now. So we might see the same people in multiple shots as we walk around. No, these are all real shoppers. Everyone's coming in from the metro downstairs and then coming from the upstairs level to head down to the car park. Now, I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit on this video because there's sort of lots of interesting things to point out, but it's a really nice fish and caviar and kind of cheese place right here, which is kind of interesting. They kind of really want to make like Rynok style shops right here by the entrance, but these kind of are more like specialty delis, I guess I'd call them. And then here in this first kind of atrium area here, they've got a bit of a pop-up holiday market or Christmas market here, which is kind of nice. They've got all these different kind of Christmas kind of objects. I'm not sure what to call them. These it's kind of almost like these mini fake fireplaces. I think they're kind of cool, these. And these like uber fancy snow globes. Have a look at some of these. These are so nice. Look, there's a helicopter one back here. Santa in the helicopter. Ded Moroz right there. Yeah, normally when you walk in this first section here, there's not anything in this area. They do sometimes do like kind of special events, but lots of different Christmas suggestions here, I guess you'd call it. Hats and gloves are always popular. I think it's kind of an automatic gift for most people in Russia. Have a look. Now in Russia, they also have Christmas tree markets as well. Now, These are all the plastic ones, the kind of faux Christmas trees. Have a look at these with the snow-looking kind of objects on them. But these are kind of not as popular as they are around the rest of the world. Coming up in the next week or two, there's going to be the pop-up Christmas tree sellers all around Russia. I know right where we live, we're going to have a couple of different guys that'll set up whole kind of displays of them, and you can choose what size you want. And you basically drag it home or put it on the roof of your car, just like in the movies where you see them strap them on the roofs of the cars, and you get yourself a real tree set up in your house. Now, if you are watching my videos for the first time, this shopping mall is huge. Now, of course, the largest in Europe, the largest in Russia. It's 4 levels, and we're just on the downstairs level here. You can see people way up the top there. Then there's this huge kind of glass domed roof that spans the entire building. You kind of lose a bit of a sense of how big this place is walking around. Now, Wednesday afternoon, still plenty of people in here now. It's obviously getting closer to the holidays. We're first week of December's pretty much done already. So people are now starting to do their gift shopping, preparing for, in Russia, January is the main holiday, 7th of January. So yeah, I've done other videos in here before, so this isn't anything new if you're watching the channel each video as they come out. But if you're watching for the first time, kind of be prepared to be amazed at how big this place is. And then never fear, everybody, iPhone 14 Pro is here. This is a Restore, which is premium reseller. Now, Apple's never really been in Russia, so they've always been sold in third-party stores, mostly a lot of the electronics stores, which I've done numerous videos on, but plenty of Apple products and stuff in there. And then here we see the first couple of clothes stores. These have actually been closed for quite a long time now. So this is Adidas. Now, Adidas, and next door to it, Tommy Hilfiger, or as I call him, Tommy Hill Climber. Now, Tommy's got everything in there set up, displayed very nicely. Whereas Adidas, I'm pretty sure they pulled out all of their merchandise. But, of course, for anyone that watches my videos, this is what we want to see. Check this out, the pièce de résistance of this shopping center, the huge aquarium right here. Now, for their Christmas decorations, it's kind of interesting. They've got these trees hung upside down, which is kind of a little bit different. I guess they've got to find some way to kind of set themselves apart and give you a reason to come here. And then I wonder here, 2016, 17, 18, 22 till 23, right up the top there. I wonder if that's a bit of a ode to Times Square and the ball drop that they have on New Year's Eve. Now, there is a very famous eel in this aquarium, which I never ever seem to find every time I come and look for him. But he's got his own Instagram page. He's that famous, this eel, but I never seem to notice him here. So yeah, this is the world's largest cylindrical aquarium. Well, look, these upside down trees are a little bit strange. They feel like they're going to fall off. And it looks to me like L'Occitane is doing just as good as ever. Of course, they've changed now to some Russian spelling of L'Occitane up here versus what was the, I guess, the French or the English spelling of it, but definitely set up for the holiday there. They've even got the gift wrapping station on the side and all of the kind of pre-packed kind of gift sets on offer. So L'Occitane is here and doing well. And then have a look over here. There's even more Christmas kind of ornaments and stuff for the tree. These very nice kind of different ceramic and porcelain kind of tree decorations. There's Diet Moroz right there in all these different kind of get up and gear. It's very nice, these kind of Christmas markets, especially if you're looking for something a bit different that everyone else hasn't got. There's a lot of choices. And then just coming to this upstairs level, I have pointed this out before, but Costa Coffee is still in Russia. Now they've actually The last couple of times I've been here, they had a bit of renovations going on, so it looked like they were kind of closing, but they were just fixing up this kind of mezzanine area here. So I think they've kind of maybe fixed the flooring or the tables and chairs, I'm not sure, but Costa Coffee is definitely here now. You can really see how big this shopping center is. And they've got these big gantries all the way over the top. And looking down, here's the second Stars Coffee down here. So this looks a little bit busier, I think. There's a bit of a line of people. And then I didn't notice this when I was looking at the aquarium from downstairs, but the teddy bear's fallen over. I wonder if he was trying to climb the aquarium. I don't know. I think that's maybe the idea. But he or she, I guess, that's a very big teddy bear, by the way. And I finally made it down to this quieter end of the shopping center now. Part of the reason it's almost echoey in here and so quiet is this was the H&M store. And of course, it's no longer. It was actually a 2-level one, so there'll be a downstairs area as well, which will kind of replicate this. But Seller Moms and Monsters, now that's a children's clothing store, so I wonder if they're already repurposing this location here to a couple of new stores. That'll be kind of interesting in the coming weeks, how quickly they can kind of put that together. But this is the upstairs area. You can see now there isn't really the people walking around up here, obviously because the stores are closed that they wanted to come to. And then also Be Free is another clothing store chain as well, which possibly might open in this space here. There's a lot of space to kind of fill between these couple of stores, so someone's going to get very lucky with the new agreement if they kind of fill the space where H&M was. Here's another nice view of these upper terraces here of the shopping center. You can see all the different stores all the way wrapped around that upper level as we keep walking along here. And then this big blank space here was where the H&M home store was. And this is the lower level of the H&M that we just saw a little bit earlier upstairs. And the store kind of extends all the way down the left-hand side of this corridor here, but they've kind of just put some big hoardings up the front of this with no other advertising now. It's probably hard to hear, but there's the security alarms going off, like when you walk in and out of the store and people may have something in their bag. And I'm curious if that's from the H&M store and someone can't figure out how to deactivate it. You'd think they just pull out the plug somewhere, right? But it's just screaming away behind these hoardings. It's really hard to hear probably on the camera, but I'm pretty sure whoever works in these shops opposite here are really getting bothered by this continuous kind of whining of this noise. But this is kind of interesting here. They've got the Love Republic brand and then the Be Free there. So I wonder if it's going to be a 2-level Be Free extending upstairs, because they've got the escalators inside the store, so maybe we'll repurpose it, right? This is kind of interesting. One of the sign hoardings here has got the specials for Marks and Spencer going on. Now I'm going to show that in just a second, because it's just off to the left of this board here, but come on, 9 months since February when all this kind of stuff sort of started getting going here, and they're still trying to sell off everything. And then have a look, what's the next advert? Gap. Gap's only got 15, 30, 40%. So that's probably why they're still here months and months and months later, because people just don't recognize the brands. We're in Russia. We're not in America with Gap, which is well known. We're not in Europe or in the UK where Marks and Spencer is well known. So yeah, we'll see the store here. I mean, they're saying the sale, full stop, the sale period, like Kuznetsy Tochka. But there's nobody in there. There's not like a rush of people. If this was the UK and they had 70% off, people would be scrapping each other to get the last items. But in all honesty, the store looks as full as it did 9 months ago. I mean, there's probably a few extra people in here, but really there's no sign of them kind of closing down anytime soon. And then right outside Marks and Spencer is Baskin Robin. And this kind of trend of the non-Russian brands or the Western brands kind of continues. And then over here is Cinnabon. Now this place is pretty much empty. Is the girl even there at the moment? She might be on a break, I think. It's kind of interesting. They've got their Coca-Cola fridge back there, but with no Coca-Cola on it. It's kind of interesting. And then if you look down at their sign here, they've actually got Dobra Cola here instead now. So Coca-Cola and Dobra Cola. Oh, there we go. He's popped up from behind there. Cinnabon is here. This is one of the real reasons I like the shopping centers in Russia, is these kind of home stores and how all out they go with their displays and decorations. I mean, these guys even have the chandeliers for sale, but Aurora of Bohemia. It's obviously a crystal and glass store predominantly, but again, they've got all their holiday decorations out. So if you want to kind of decorate your table, they've even got a nice suggestion one right here in the front with Wjhat Moroz front and center. Now, if you have watched the last 5 or 6 videos, you'll probably notice that I took away the word sanctions from the titles. Now, that's kind of the way I want the channel to slowly head, where I kind of do different videos, but without the word sanctions. But I put it back into this video, because I know it gets the views, it gets the clicks, and there's nothing like coming to a big shopping center and just seeing how it is. You know, stores are open, stores are closed, are they busy? So I'm sorry if you don't like the word sanctions in the titles, but sometimes they're going to appear in the videos every now and again. So we can get a good idea again of all of the people here in the shopping center on this upper level. I mean, it's really kind of strange when you walk in here, because you kind of think, oh, there's a lot of people. And then you walk down some of the laneways, it's a little bit more empty. But the fact that people are spread over 4 levels, that's what really kind of throws you off a lot, because, you know, there'd be thousands of people. I mean, I reckon probably 20, 30,000 in here at a time on a quiet kind of few hours, and then maybe 50,000, 80,000 when it's kind of in busier times, maybe on the weekends or late evenings. But I just want to show you here, this was the Adidas store. Actually, it was a really big Adidas store as well in this corner, but it looks like Superstep's going to come in, which is a kind of a multi-brand shoe store. They're going to kind of take over this whole kind of corner location here. So Aviapark's doing very well to find new tenants as quick as these kind of brands decide to essentially leave. Obviously, a lot of the companies that are here that have left have still committed to pay their rents. So Aviapark's, you know, not so much bothered about the loss of the store because they're paying rent, but it's basically the foot traffic that they kind of want to get, and more people walking through the shopping center, the more every shop benefits. Now, coming up to this 4th level, this was actually where the IKEA City store was. Now, anyone who doesn't know what IKEA City stores are, they're basically a pared down version of IKEA that they can build in shopping centers. This was actually over 2 levels, so there was a lower floor under this one, obviously. You can just see then a cream wood there along the top, which kind of just shows you the last remnants of IKEA. But off to this left-hand side, they've actually already leased out probably half of this upper level to MVideo, which is the huge electronics store chain throughout Russia. This is a massive store, but obviously they've got a lot of space to fill, so, and you can see plenty of people going in and out of here. People kind of like this branded store, so you can also shop online, you can do in-store pickup, delivery, but being a full kind of range store here, they've got everything under the sun. But slowly the IKEA is disappearing, or what was the location for it anyway. Then further along this upper level here, there's a pretty good view of these upside down Christmas trees. They're kind of suspended by cables here from the ceiling, but it's pretty neat how they've done this. And then we can see that big teddy bear over there. Obviously, this is a very well photographed spot in the shopping center. Everybody likes to come and see this aquarium. I'm still curious about these dates all up the side of the tank here, what the reference of it is, but I guess 2023 is the big one at the top there. And this is the gantry that walks over to the food court over here, and then just looking back the other way. Again, these kind of big wide shots give you a bit of a feel of the shopping center. Big, huge Burger King advertising on the side of the clothing store there. And then upstairs here, there's only the Adidas Kids and Tommy Hilfiger Kids stores that are closed on this whole kind of side of the shopping center. So I know everybody kind of comments that, you know, everything I'm doing is food related, so I'm not going to bore you with the food court too much in this video. Just thought I'd just do a bit of a quick pan around and see how it is. Still people in here. The KFC's interestingly closed. I wonder if that's due to the franchise changeover to, it's going to be called Rustics. It's going to be the new name of KFC. But all the usual stores up here or food places. But what I want to show you, and I'm going to do this without cropping and editing, is the ice skating rink. Check this out. This is very cool. They've got these in a few shopping centers around Moscow, but how cool is this? You can come and do ice skating. Oh, hopefully no one's going to crash while I'm filming here, but this is on this upper 4th level of the shopping center. But it's a nice spot to come and ice skate. Looks like the young guys have brought some girls there with them. Good on them. Bring some girls ice skating. And I wonder if there's some adults here as well. I wonder if they're just coming for a bit of practice or what they're doing. It's always interesting when you see adults come into the ice skating rink, but it's very fun in the shopping center. It looks like they've also put some fairy lights here on all these big arms of the building here to look like Christmas trees, I guess. Now, this may not be as easy to make out as I'm showing here, but this store right in front of us right here is called Li Ning. Now, this was the Nike store, or Nike store, and I was trying to find it walking around. It's always awkward on these middle levels to kind of get a wide shot of the stores, so coming upstairs, but this is exactly where the Nike location was. Now, I wonder if there's any kind of ownership reference to the brand, or they basically just took over the locations where all the Nike stores were throughout Russia. So Li Ning. Now, I wonder if anyone knows this brand before I've seen it. I've heard about this in the last couple of weeks, but this is the first store I've seen in all the shopping centers I've walked in. Now, I'm not too sure if I've shown this in other videos or not, walking around shopping centers, but this is Fridays, which commonly around the world it's known as TGI Fridays, or thank God it's Fridays. But it's a very, very American branded kind of franchised restaurant. There is one person in there. I was just going to say there's not a person in there, but there's one person sitting having a meal. Very, very nice place. I mean, the build out of this place is phenomenal. And you got to remember, this is a huge shopping center, so they've got the space to build these as big as possible. But I wonder what sort of happened here. Obviously, the TGI is not on the logo anymore. But then you see the actual sign right out of the front, and they've got combos and packaged meals right here. So TGI Fridays is right there, but it's just called Fridays on the sign. And then the other end of the upstairs level here is where the huge cinema area is. 17-screen cinema. Now, I kind of feel bad really for the staff working here, because it's not really their fault that, you know, the movies aren't being shown, the newest, latest kind of blockbuster videos or blockbuster movies aren't getting put on the big screens. So everybody around this kind of movie theater end kind of suffers a little bit from it as well, because there's just not the foot traffic going in and out. But there is two kind of couples sitting waiting for a movie, I guess. But 17-screen cinema. This is sort of Wednesday early evening now. I mean, of course, midweek you don't expect as many people here, but you'd expect a few coming to watch the movies at least. But I wonder if they've got cheap Wednesday specials. I guess not, if there's virtually nobody here. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this brand at all, 34 Play. It does look like basically adult clothing. There's some videos here of some drift cars and things like that. But what's kind of the most interesting is right here on the entrance, 18 plus to go in. It's like a nightclub. I wonder if they card you just to go in the store to find a new sweatshirt or a t-shirt or something, but it's a very nice place. I mean, they've got lots of nice clothing in there, but has anybody in the world come across an 18 plus clothing store before? And then pretty much right next door is Sneaker Box. Now, a lot of people kind of did do different commenting about this and the fact that it doesn't really reference Reebok, but obviously Reebok is the main poster right at the entrance of the store. And the mannequin's got Reebok all over it, but this was the Reebok store. Now, I think over time they are going to basically put some other brands in here, but Sneaker Box. What do you think of that name of a changeover from Reeboks? And then as I keep walking along now, I'm kind of back down to these lower levels here where I first walked in. I just wanted to show this Gap store here, because this was another company that's been very proactive that they were going to leave Russia and close down, and they will no longer be here. But again, the fact that it's an American brand, it just hasn't sort of suited Russia as a country. And you know what I mean? It's not every brand that can just turn up here and open a store and do well and, you know, prosper, I guess, if you want to call it that. But, you know, that's the thing. You've got the Gap store here. They sort of said they're leaving Russia, and they've got the sale signs up, but there isn't really that kind of, you know, in Russia, people in there kind of emptying the shelves. I mean, they could be here for another year or two, the way their stock levels look. So another store that I really want to point out here is this location right here. It was originally the Sephora store. Now, it looks pretty much exactly like the Sephora store used to look like. There's not as many shoppers in here, so I wonder if people just don't want to shop here because it's not Sephora anymore. It's called La Beauty or La Butte. I guess it's kind of a French word that's kind of been translated from Russian to French to English. I'm not too sure, but these Sephoras used to be much, much busier when it was Sephora. So I wonder whoever the management company that took it over, have they increased the prices? Have they took away some of the promotions? What's going on? And then walking on this lower level here, you'll notice now a few other of the closed stores here. This is the Uniqlo store, which has been closed for a long time now. Pretty much the glass windows basically are closed, the lights are off, and that's about it. It's nice and kind of dark in this corridor because of that now, but just thought I'd point out right across here, this was the Levi's store, and it's now called J&S. So again, all the Levi branding's inside exactly how it was, apart from that one sign change on top there. And we'll see here the Swatch store, which depends in different shopping centers. The Swatch stores are open in Moscow, so I'm not sure what's going on with one store's open, one store's not. One store is. And then we'll see the Tommy store here. Also, it's basically got all the stock in it, and it's all displayed up. It's just the lights are switched off. I've been making the stores leave these lights on personally, because it just kind of makes this part of the shopping center just that bit kind of darker and gloomier. So this is kind of interesting here. This is Tissot, which is actually part of the Swatch group, and they've actually got their kind of pop-up store right outside here. Now, I don't think there's any staff here today, but all the watches are in the cases, so someone may be just taking a bit of a break, but the Tissot watches are more than available, and then the Swatch store is closed. Brightens up a bit further down here now. You'll see all the regular stores fully open. Okay, everybody, I want to thank you for watching today's video and walk around here at Aviapark, the largest shopping center in Russia. And just to take a look at all the stores, what's opened, what's closed, what's changed, new stores that have arrived here. Now I'm just walking back behind one of the closed stores right here, but I hope you've enjoyed this walk around. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. It's always a good sign that I'm doing well if there's lots of thumbs ups on the videos. Post a comment, let me know what you think. Have you been to this shopping center before? Maybe you're from Russia, maybe you're not. If you ever plan to come to Russia, or to Moscow at least, probably got to come here at least once just to kind of walk around and say you've been in the biggest shopping center in Russia. Thanks everybody for watching. I will post another video for you to watch right after this one. You can take a look at that at your leisure. Thanks everybody for being a subscriber to the channel. I did actually meet a subscriber walking around a little bit earlier. I didn't catch his name. We sort of shook hands. I was a little bit sort of shocked. He just said, "Oh, hello, Russell." And so if you're watching and you were in Aviapark with me today, thanks for coming up to me and saying hello and having a few words with me. So yeah, thanks everybody. Bye.